Had you ever been outside of the Atlanta area in those cities before the rodeo tour?
Not in no area.
No area, right?
Not in those areas, no.
Okay. Now, if you can see it, and it may not be clear, so I will come up with the court's permission. What date were you sent home? Or, you know, did you have to go home for your illness?
Eight, 1, 5. I don't know. I just know Chicago.
That's
I remember the city.
May I approach you, Honor? When you were sent home from that tour, by that time, March 8th, 2015, it is true, is it not, that Kenneth Copeland told you that he was committing crimes and shootings? Is that true?
Objection, Fagan, hearsay.
Overruled.
Say it again.
Sure. Is it true that by March of 2015, while Jeffrey's on the tour, Kenneth Copeland was not getting along with Shellkel, or you know who Shellkel is?
I remember the name, yeah.
Okay. They were not getting along. True?
Objection would call for speculation.
Sustained.
If you know.
Your Honor, I'd ask for foundation.
Do you know whether Kenneth Copeland told you that he was not getting along and was in a big fight with Shellkel?
Before them days, he had already been told.
That's what I'm asking, but I can't hear you, and tell the jurors.
I say before them days, he had already told them.
Okay. And when you say before them days, those days, Mr. Copeland was already in an argument, that's my word, with Shellkel. True?
Yes.
A disagreement, right?
Yes.
And it was violent. True?
Yeah.
They would shoot at each other at times, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And Kenneth Copeland told you that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Same with Donovan Thomas. Kenneth Copeland stole from Donovan Thomas. You're aware of that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He broke into his car, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
And he took his identification. Remember that?
I think it was some jewelry or something like that.
Okay. Mr. Copeland also took the peanut chain. Remember that?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I just remember something about some jewelry.
It was jewelry. All right. And Donovan Thomas later found out that it was Kenneth Copeland who stole from him, right?
Yeah, I think he ended up giving it back or something like that. I don't remember too much of that.
That's fine. And you discussed that with Kenneth Copeland, right?
I don't know if it was directly with him, but it was probably around him.
Or Mr. Garlington, right?
It was one of them, yeah.
And all that then also includes Kenneth Copeland being beaten, embarrassed at Club Crucial on January 6, 2015. If you don't remember the date, just say I don't remember.
I remember that. I remember him getting fined. I don't remember the date.
Okay. And Kenneth Copeland you saw him after the fight, right?
Yeah.
He had a knot on his head, right?
Yeah.
Black eye.
Oh, yeah. I think his eye was swollen or something like that.
Okay. And this happened at Club Crucial, and Kenneth Copeland was mad. He told you that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And during that whole time, throughout the rodeo tour, you know, through your own observation, Jeffrey Williams was friendly with Donovan Thomas. True?
Through the rodeo?
Wait, go ahead.
You know what? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I told, yeah.
That's true, right? Tell the jurors.
Yeah, I've been told him that.
Okay. And Jeffrey is doing his career, right?
Yes.
And Kenneth Copeland doesn't ask, to your knowledge, Jeffrey for permission to get into an argument or fight or shoot at anyone, does he?
Well, he a grown man. He ain't gonna ask him, man. I mean, grown.
You got to speak slower to the jurors.
My bad. He grown. I mean, you know, you grown. He got it. Like, he don't control nobody.
Okay. And you also told that to the police, right?
Yes.
You were asked, I started about Rich Homie Quan. You know who that is, right? The performer?
Yeah.
His name is Mr. Lamar. Do you know his real name by any chance?
No, I don't know your real name.
Okay. And you were asked, and I think you said you don't remember, so don't worry about that. But after, I want to talk to you on and after March of 2015, if Jeffrey working with Rich Homie Quan, okay, in the music field. I want to focus on that, okay? That's what we're focusing on. You with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know Jeffrey's contractual obligations at that time? And if you don't, just say, I don't know.
Man, you got to explain what you just said.
Okay. Did you know whether Jeffrey was signed to an agreement with a record label that he had to do certain performances with certain people by March of 2015? Were you aware of that?
I think he had a contract, yeah.
Okay. And were you ever in any negotiations or meetings or review any contracts?
No.
All right. And did Jeffrey ever go to you and ask, is this a good opinion?
No.
And you follow Jeffrey's career to this day, right?
What you mean?
Okay.
Like, still listen to music?
That was a bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you did that your whole time since you met him, right?
Yeah.
And by 2015, were you, did you go to Europe with Jeffrey after the rodeo tour ended?
No, I think I was locked up already.
Okay. You knew he went though, right?
Yes, I
You kn-
heard about it.
Okay. You knew he went twice in 2015 to play in Europe, right?
And foundation.
Objection, what in foundation?
Speculation and foundation.
Well, he's asking if he knew or not, so he can say yes or no. Overruled.
I remember hearing about one of them in 15.
Okay. And were you aware, if you were personally, that Jeffrey was written up in the New York Times, 2015?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
Were you aware that Jeffrey was contracted with, if you don't know, just say it, Calvin Klein?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
You were aware Jeffrey was contracted with Puma,
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
2015?
Your Honor.
Yes.
Were you aware that Jeffrey was written up in Vogue magazine?
Your
Okay,
Honor.
so that whole line of questioning, I think we're going to get the same objection and it's going to be the same ruling.
By the time that you are, as you said, locked up, that means in jail, right?
Yes.
By that time in 2015, tell the jurors since that time your interactions with Jeffrey Williams.
Since I've been in prison?
Since 2015, you made bond one time, right? You got out, then you were rearrested, right?
I ain't saw him again.
I can't hear you. That's me.
I haven't seen him since.
So since 2015, approximately, we're talking about April. Is that true? The first time you got locked up, then you
May.
made bond?
May.
May, sorry. To this day, you had zero means no, communication with Jeffrey Williams. Is that true?
I mean, I've been locked up I just got out with last year before last.
Okay, so the year before last to now, do you ever have communication with Jeffrey?
No.
While in custody, do you ever have communication with Jeffrey?
No.
Did he pay for your lawyer?
No.
Did he pay for any bond?
No.
He didn't contact you, right?
No, and I ain't contact him.
Right. Because your relationship with Jeffrey wasn't this, he's the gang leader, right?
No, it was never that.
And you told that to the authorities, right?
Yes.
And when Kenneth Copeland is telling you about, and you know about, crimes he's doing, that's not at the behest. That's a bad word. That's not to your knowledge because Jeffrey Williams asked him to, right?
Objection, that's speculation, and that would be just speculation.
Sustained.
To your knowledge, has Jeffrey Williams ever asked anyone to shoot up a home?
No.
To your knowledge and information, tell the jurors, if you have any information, did Jeffrey Williams ever tell anyone to murder someone?
I already told him he wasn't like that. He ain't get involved in stuff like that.
To your knowledge, did Jeffrey Williams even know about the killing of Donovan Thomas until it was broadcast afterwards?
Afterwards, he knew afterwards.
I can't hear you.
Afterwards, whatever, however you said.
And you were asked by the lawyer Love, and if you don't remember, just say, I don't remember the question. But you were asked whether Jeffrey Williams acted normal after the learning about the death of Donovan Thomas. You remember that question at all?
Yes, I remember that.
Okay. I want to talk to you about that. You saw Jeffrey Williams at his Sky House condo later in the evening of January 10th, 2015, going into the early morning hours, maybe better, January 11th, 2015. True?
Like early morning, like,
Okay.
you know,
So it's the next day.
yeah, like 4, 5 in the morning, something like that.
Okay. So it's Sunday, and if you don't remember the date, just say I don't remember. Sunday, January 11th, 2015, right?
I don't know exactly what day it was.
All right. And you knew, it was already discussed, and you were going, you knew that Jeffrey Williams was performing in the state of Florida.
That's the only reason I ended up there, because everybody was getting ready to go.
And the position is people who wanted to go to watch him perform met at his house, and they go in vans to the state of Florida. Isn't that true?
Yes.
That was all prearranged, right?
Yes.
There's none of this, let's get Sprinter vans immediately to get out of town, right?
No, I don't think you get a sprint van that late at night. You probably had already booked it or something.
Okay, well, don't speculate, but you know that you had to be there at a certain time to leave, right?
I think I got there at 4 or 5. We left like probably 6, so yeah.
Now, Jeffrey wasn't at his Sky House condo the whole time you were there. Isn't that true?
No, he wasn't.
He left, right?
Yeah, he had already left before us or something like that.
Okay. And he left with his sister, Dora. Do you know who Dora is? And if you don't, just say, I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I went to school with her.
You went to school with Dora?
Yeah.
Okay. And Jeffrey had already gone, and people remained in his Sky House condominium to go to Florida, right?
Yes.
Now, did Jeffrey, when you said you acted normal, tell the jury whether you told the police this on August 5, 2015 and March 3rd, 2017, that Jeffrey was concerned and questioned, why would someone kill Nut? Do you remember that?
I told him that.
I can't hear you.
Yes.
That's true, right?
Yes.
Because Jeffrey was friends with Donovan Thomas, right?
For my knowledge, yeah.
No matter what you were doing, no matter what Demeeke and Garlington was doing, no matter what Kenneth Copeland doing, Jeffrey still performed with Rich Homie Quan going into January 2015. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You saw Jeffrey and Rich Homie Quan together if you were there. Were you in Florida? Let me ask this first. Forget what I said. Were you in Florida going into New Year's of 2015? So it's December 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st of 2014, striking into New Year, January 1, 2015. Do you remember if you were in Florida?
I don't remember exactly like.
All right. Okay. But you saw in Florida Jeffrey and Rich Homie Quan together, right?
Yeah, they had like couple shows back to back in Florida.
And you went to them, right?
I went like 1 or 2.
All right. And this is after the, God forbid, the killing of Mr. Thomas, true?
Yes.
And from your observation, Rich Homie Quan and Jeffrey, although maybe sad, they were getting along, right?
I mean, I told them everything was still like normal. Like,
No matter what was going on with you or other people and drive-by shootings, that had nothing to do with Jeffrey from your vantage point. Is that true?
no.
Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
How many other people do you personally know, have the notoriety, that's a bad word, are as well known as Jeffrey Williams?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
How many people from your neighborhood besides Jeffrey are well-known musical artists like him?
No.